Ah, crap. Mom, you forgot to sharpen my skates. Okay, so I don't live at home with my mom anymore, nor did my mom ever get my skates sharpened. But if you've ever sort of forgotten to get your skates sharpened, I know a lot of you live places where you don't actually have a local hockey shop where you can get them sharpened, and certainly during lockdown, you didn't have access to skate sharpening. So today I'm going to show you a couple tools you can use at home or at the rink to kind of get you by. They actually work. I'll explain the difference between the two and when you might want to use each one. The tools I'm going to talk about today are the blade barber and the re-edger. There's different brands. I think there's one called the Sweet Stick, something like that. They're all essentially the same. What got me looking for these, because I'm pretty picky about my skates sharpening, and I like to have sharp skates. If I feel like they're getting dull, it sort of messes with me. So I'm pretty diligent in getting them sharpened at the shop. But during lockdown, I got the synthetic ice, so I could keep working on my technique, and my blades got dull. I think your blades do get duller faster on synthetic ice than they do on regular ice. So I didn't want to mess around. I didn't want to get one and find that it wasn't what I needed. So I just got one of each and figured that I could figure it out. So what's the difference? The blade barber is an actual sharpener. So you order it with a specific hollow. I usually sharpen my skates 5/8. They didn't have 5/8 as one of their stock options, so I went with a 9/16. So a little bit different, but it actually has like a file in there, like an edge in there that sharpens your blade. This is sort of a re-edger, so it sort of extends the life of your sharpening by kind of curling up the edge of your blade. So this is a really great quick fix, and when it's time to kind of put that new edge on and fix it up, then I use this. So during all of lockdown, I've used this twice, and I've used this probably 3 times just to sort of get it going. Okay, let's look at how to use them, because there's really different techniques to using them, and a couple of warnings as well, because I've learned from a few minor mistakes, let's just say. Let's start with the easiest one, the re-edger or the Sweet Stick. So you can see it's sort of a ceramic V in there. And so what it does is when you run it along your blade, it kind of curls in the edges a little bit, and it gives you back that sharp edge feeling. Oh, does it? Yeah. So the first time I ever used this, I was like, well, I better go pretty light with it, because I don't want to overdo it and then be like killing myself down in the basement on the synthetic ice. So I ran it along like hardly any pressure. I ran it along the blade like 3 times maybe. And oh, they were sharp. So they were pretty grabby for a couple sessions on the synthetic ice, and then they kind of simmered down. So when I do it now, I do like 1 pass, and again, I use very light, like I'm really not pushing down at all. I'm just guiding it along my blade, and that's what's worked for me. Let me show you exactly how I would do it. So I just hold the blade between my knees so that it's nice and stable. I'll give it a little wipe off to make sure it has all the sort of grit from the slide board, or not even grit, but just the particulate. And then I'll just run this along the length of it. No pressure really, just tip to tail, as we used to say in skiing. And that's it. Now if I had a nick in the side, maybe if I'd been on the ice and I'd slammed into the post, I could run this along and just take off any little burrs. So it's got a little built-in stone there for you. And even just after doing that, you can feel you know, that there's a difference. So use a very light hand, less is more. You can always come back and do more, but yeah, it's kind of a drag when you've overdone it and you're like, okay, well, now I gotta live with what I've done for a couple skates. Let's skip now to the blade barber and look, because it is a little bit trickier to use, but again, it really does sort of resharpen your skates and retune that hollow. So let's get down and have a look at that. So let's look at the blade barber first. It's a little hard to see because it's black on black, but it has a little thumb imprint on one side, and then it has little finger imprints sort of on the back. So you kind of hold it basically like that. It has a big arrow that says this way, pointing this way. It has the hollow that you've selected printed on the blade, so you'll always remember exactly what it is. So this is how they kind of suggest, and I think it works great. So you sort of put 2 pucks, so this is just 2 pucks under the heel of your holder, and then you want to make sure that it goes this way. They say when you first start, just do it with your thumb so that you get kind of used to holding it flat, because this is what I found the first time I tried to use it, and I had to get Paul to help me because I was like, well, I can still roll it. Like, I'm not really sure what is flat. But when you hold it with just your thumb and you get it in there, then you kind of get a sense of what is flat. And then once you kind of get that feel, then I put my fingers in there and I know what I'm doing. Same thing, I'm not pushing with a lot of pressure, like very, very feather pressure. And I'm going to give it 4 passes. So once you've done your 4 passes on one side, then you've got to flip your skate over. And you're going to do 4 passes the other side and still following the arrow where it says this way. So I'm going to start a couple just with my thumb just to get the sort of the angle or get the balance right. Okay. And now I'm going to do my 4 passes with a little bit of pressure. And I just bang it out. You can see like a little bit of filings come out. Again, I use really light pressure. I'm kind of a chicken. I really don't want to, you know, mess up the blade. I mean, now it's a little easier because skate shops are open, so I can go and get it fixed. And I just run my little sharpening stone along the sides to take off any burrs. I'll give it a wipe with a clean towel. But you even, again, you can feel and you can see that it's put a nice new edge on that skate. So let's do the other one, and then we'll go for a little rip. And there we go. So now we're all set for our next skate. So which tool did I like better? Because I know that you guys are going to ask. I think I would probably always carry this in my hockey bag. I always play just locally. It's not like I go to away to tournaments or anything. But if I did somehow nick an edge or just sometimes you do just get that, the new guy at the hockey shop sharpens your skates. You've all been there. And it's like, why do I have no edge on my left skate? So, you know, I think this is a really good kind of quick fix. I think this is a little more involved. So if I was, say I was playing tournaments or I was traveling and I wasn't sure what the sharpening situation would be, or like in particular, I'll use this a ton for doing I use different blades for the synthetic ice just because I'm weird that way. And I just got a new pair of skates just for my synthetic ice. ice. Not that you need it, not that the synthetic ice is anything bad to your skates, but again, it's just like, I feel like these are like not expensive skates. These are X700s, but I really like they feel good. I'm always want new, really I just want new gear. So I'll show you what skates I got for using on the synthetic ice. But if I was traveling to tournaments and stuff like that, then I would carry both of these. And like I said, I'll use this for sharpening my skates on synthetic ice, and then, you know, maybe once every, well, 4 months, take them to the shop and get them properly sharpened. So that is the Blade Barber and the Re-Edger, but I think there's lots of versions of this with different names. And I'll put links in the description so you can go check them out yourself. This is definitely more expensive. This is cheaper. I cannot remember what the prices are, but again, I'll put the link in the description so you can go check it out. So this is Maria from GoalieTrainingPro.com. I hope that was helpful. If it was helpful, hit it with a like. If you have a sharpener, and don't say one of those big like bench top like pro sharpeners, because yeah, obviously that's going to be better. But if you have experience with these, any tips on these, if maybe you have another version that you really like, then drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it, and I'm sure other people in the Goalie Training Pro community would love it too. So that's all I got for you today. Any questions, pop them in the comments below. I answer each and every one of them. I will see you next time. And if your skates are plenty sharp, but your butterfly is plenty too narrow, then you will head over to your app store. You will type in Butterfly Challenge, hit enter, and you're going to get access to the free 14-day Butterfly Challenge, which is a goalie-specific mobility program I made for you for free. And it's going to give you a 2 to 4, 5-inch wider butterfly in 14 days or less. Seriously, that's how it works. So head on over and grab that. I'm going to go for a skate.